Yo, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to be exploring the dark side of TikTok, where the lines between reality and the unknown blur. We're going to be listening to some of the creepy TikToks and some of the mysteries that may leave you questioning whether they were real or they may be fake. Let's find out, shall we?
You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
Then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like civilization that lived on Mars. Now bag this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the super mode button.
I said no. What the hell?
And it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell? Yeah.
It's real shit. Like, this element's called xenon. It's prominent after nuclear explosion. Yo, did you hear the Walmart theory?
No.
So, theory goes that Walmart has secret underground tunnels underneath every single store in the United States, allowing their wealthy owners to keep things private from their competitors. This is terrifying, bro. Check this out. So there was this guy, I think his name was Celine, and he and his mom moved to Cleveland, Ohio. He had settled in really well to the neighborhood, and he had also just started his new job in Walmart. He was so excited about his first shift, but things took a turn for the worst super fast. Salim was a quiet guy, and his decision to work the night shift made sense as he wasn't really a people person. As the clock struck midnight, Salim was returning some empty storage boxes to the back of the warehouse when he came across a large door that read "Store owner, private, keep out." His curiosity got the better of him. He peeped through the door. He'd just seen a set of stairs leading down into a pit of darkness. He followed the creaky wooden stairs down a dark, cold corridor. He could feel the sense of fear as the cold walls dripped with condensation. Suddenly, he realized things were not as they seem. For part 2, comment Walmart part 2.
What do you think? I know I worked there for 3 years in high school, and I walked every inch of that store just because I used to get bored. And I had never seen anything like that. And if I did, 9 times out of 10, I would have went down there. So, just saying. I think it's cap.
Information from NASA states that there is a large ocean beneath the Earth's crust, after scientists detected movement below the surface. Around 500 miles below, a large supply of water has been found stored in a rock named ringwoodite. But it gets even crazier. Scientists say that this rock is so huge that it contains 3 times the amount of water on the Earth's surface. This causes many to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought, possibly even civilizations. While the news of this discovery was over 10 years ago, it was never talked about. Is the government hiding this information from us? What do you think?
Darkest conspiracy theories. The Earth virus theory. This theory states that the Earth is a living organism, and we, you and I, the humans, are the virus. The Earth grows plenty of free food, and every animal seems to balance and coexist on Earth in sort of a circle of life. For instance, bees pollinate crops, moving from one plant to the next, fertilizing each plant. It's beneficial. Even though they're taking pollen, they're still being beneficial. But humans, we seem to not benefit the Earth at all. We're more destructive. We clear rainforests, kill the ocean with our plastics, puncture giant holes in the ozone with our chemicals and fuels, and we cause man-made climate disasters. We don't seem to coexist. But before I continue, question time. If aliens were about to destroy the planet, and one came up to you, they chose you, and said, if you show us 2 things on Earth of why we shouldn't destroy this planet and kill you all, what 2 things would you show them to save the Earth? Let me know down below. But anyways, think about the human body. When we're sick, our body creates antibodies to kill off the viruses. That's exactly what the Earth does to us, creating earthquakes, droughts, tsunamis, and other natural disasters. Let's face it, we're destructive in nature. And while a tiny bit of us do try to help the planet, the majority of us selfishly harm it. Maybe we are the virus. virus?
That's a great question. I honestly can't think of anything off the cuff because that is an interesting analogy of how the humans interact with the earth. I mean, could we be parasites? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think.
Have that title as well. I really need to warn everybody watching this TikTok that this is
Oh,
truly,
goodness.
I think, the most disturbing case I've ever read about. So if you're squeamish or you don't like this sort of stuff, please keep scrolling. This is about to get really dark. This is Ian Watkins, born July 30th, 1977, and the former lead singer of the band Lost Prophets. So if you don't know, Lost Prophets was a huge rock band from Wales in the United Kingdom. They were pretty famous, and a lot of people knew their name back in the day. They played huge sellout shows. The 2004 album Start Something by Lost Prophets ended up being a huge commercial success. Ian Watkins, the focus of our story today, was the lead singer for the band. But although the band was huge and world famous, there was a very, very dark cloud on the horizon. All this starts in the year 2008 when some allegations were brought forth. Apparently, crew members, band members, a lot of different people had seen Ian Watkins, the singer of the band, backstage with a number of fans that appeared to be very underage. At around the same time that people were seeing Ian backstage with kids, he was also going through a heavy drug addiction. And this drug abuse was often a cover that he used to isolate himself from the other band members. For example, on most of the shows they played, he would request his own dressing room away from the rest of the band. And it was in his own private dressing room where a lot of this child essay apparently took place.
Oh.
So from the years 2008 to 2011, 6 different people filed reports about Ian Watkins having inappropriate relationships with children. An ex-girlfriend of his even claimed that he showed her CP on his phone and she was deeply disturbed. But the police did nothing. In the year 2010, a woman came forward to the authorities and claimed that Ian had abused her young child. But once again, the authorities did not investigate the matter any further. And in the year 2009, Ian's ex-girlfriend was actually told by Ian himself that he was abusing a 2-year-old child while recording an album in Los Angeles. Obviously, she was deeply disturbed by this. She went to the child's parents, told them about what was happening, went to the authorities. The child's parents even went to authorities too. But they didn't do anything. They didn't investigate any of these claims. Nothing ever happened. And during this period of his life when the band Lost Prophets was huge, Ian was regularly participating in charity events where children were involved. He was making hospital trips to go visit sick kids. And that alone is deeply concerning because it was during that same time period when people were reporting him to the authorities for abusing children.
That's weird.
But that leads us to the year 2012. During that year, Ian Watkins was arrested 3 different times for possessing drugs and drug paraphernalia. Apparently, some of his friends had ratted on him and went to authorities claiming that he was smuggling drugs from America to England. But it was eventually when the authorities searched his home when this case was blown wide open and when everything just takes such an extremely dark turn. I'm about to post a part 2 here, but you can't unhear some of the things we're going to discuss, so watch the next part with extreme caution.
That went left.
Do you think the United States has super soldiers?
It's not a question of if the United States has super soldiers. It's more a matter of who has them. The country as a whole? No. That's a broad and misleading assumption. But government contractors? Absolutely. Behind closed doors, where the light of accountability rarely shines, there are black budget programs that make Hollywood sci-fi look like child's play. These programs are not just hidden. They're buried deep beneath layers of bureaucracy and secrecy, far removed from the public eye. These operations have access to technology that is centuries ahead of anything known to the public, and their first priority is always its weaponization. This tech isn't just advanced, it's the stuff of legends, reverse engineered from extraterrestrial artifacts recovered in shadowy corners of the world. Imagine machines that could bend reality, cloaking devices that render entire battalions invisible, or biological enhancements that make a soldier faster, stronger, and nearly impossible to kill. There are soldiers, some biological, others not, who are standing by, waiting to be activated when the time comes. They're the hidden blade in the hand of those who control these clandestine programs, waiting for an outside or even inside threat to justify their use.
Gatorade, if you drink it when you're not thirsty, it's sour. Go run, come back, drink it, it tastes sweet. If you drink it when you're thirsty, it's sweet. They put a specific ingredient that it makes you realize when you're hydrated or dehydrated. So when you're dehydrated, it activates the sugars in it and it tastes sweeter. So you know how when you drink Gatorade just regularly, it's sour. Like you don't really want to drink it.
Low key.
Right? You know, you get the thing like this, like, oh, it's sour. Like you don't want to drink it. But I heard Prime's like really bad for you too. It's just like artificial sweetener.
But imagine someone runs, if you
That's
do a Prime
interesting.
for marathon and you come back, Prime probably tastes like the best ever. So you can't like taste Prime unless you run, because that's really what it's
Yeah,
for.
because it is.
That's what it's
it is
for.
technically a thing.
Yeah.
But everything's like artificial sweetener now.
One thing I miss is that I don't know, it was probably really bad for me, but the Milo in the Philippines,
is
where
that bad?
I have tasted Gatorade, and it has tasted sweet and sour, but I never put two and two together. But now that I saw this clip, I honestly think it's not Cap. That may be the real McCoy. So let me know below.
A treasure hunter tipped off the FBI to a large cache of buried, stolen Civil War gold in a rural part of Elk County, Pennsylvania. Now, the story goes, this treasure hunter had been looking into this since around 2011, probably further back than that. But his research showed that during the Civil War, a secret society known as the Knights of the Golden Circle, a group that operated in the North to sabotage the Northern efforts. One of them being to steal this gold that was on its way to the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and then hide it. Why they never went back for it, I don't know. This treasure hunter had been operating or doing his research and looking for this stuff, and he located a site that was on public land in Pennsylvania. And he was operating under the permission of the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. It's somewhere along the way, this treasure hunter and the DCNR had a falling out, and he follows this up and goes to the FBI. He told them, or however he convinced them, they took it seriously enough to hire an outside agency to go in and do some very high-tech survey of the property to see if there's any validity to this. And sure enough, this high-tech equipment revealed that there was a large mass of some kind at this site underground. And then the FBI, also using pretty high-tech equipment, determined that there was the presence of gold. They end up getting a seizure warrant through a federal judge. They get a writ of entry that gives them access to the land. They do a 3-day search for this using an excavator and all kinds of techniques, you know, to try to locate this stuff. Very well documented, I have to say. Very thoroughly documented. And they found nothing. No sign of Civil War gold, no sign that anything had been buried there. Now, currently ongoing, there's a lawsuit between this treasure hunter and the FBI. He claims that they did find something and that there's video evidence of this. I don't understand why the site survey shows presence of gold, a large mass under the ground, and then they find absolutely nothing. So stay tuned, and I'm going to fill you in on this one completely because it really, really interests me.
Welcome campers and campers to the Daily Camper Week of July 25th, 2010. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started.
This anonymous web show is one of the most disturbing things that's ever existed on the internet. What I just showed you was a clip from an online program called The Daily Capper. The Daily Capper was a program put on by pedophiles all across the world. And this was the head of a community of people known as cappers. This online community of pedophiles known as cappers would go onto the profiles of underage girls and boys, flatter them with compliments, shower them with praise, and try to get them to flash them so that they could take a screen cap of their nude body. And after that, these pedophiles would then blackmail these children with these images. They would send these photos to friends, family members, schools. And there were all sorts of code words and online forums where these cappers, aka disgusting pedophiles, would meet and exchange information. The Daily Capper itself, this program, was a program put on by these pedophiles to talk about news and events that were happening within this pedophile community. It's really disturbing to me that they chose this because I used to watch the show Crashbox as a child, and I think that it's eerie and haunting that they're actually using imagery from a children's show for this pedophile network. Now, sadly, one of the victims of this capping community was a girl named Amanda Todd. Amanda's story is particularly well known because of the YouTube video she created before she took her own life. But at one point during Amanda's stages of cyberbullying, she was featured repeatedly on the Daily Capper, this program. And the intro always started like this. welcome cappers and cam whores. And then at the end, the newscaster up here would say, happy hunting, encouraging these pedophiles to go target more children. And they would do awards at the end of the year for the best, most prolific pedophiles in their community. These awards that they gave out included Blackmailer of the Year, Capper of the Year, Cam Whore of the Year, Cam Site of the Year, and Shocker of the Year, where they were basically giving awards to pedophiles and their victims.
Creepy.
There's a lot of information online about this whole show and these pedophiles, but something really disturbing to me is the fact that most of the people involved in the Daily Capper were never brought to justice, and they were never caught. That means that all of these pedophiles that were celebrating with each other and glorifying their disgusting acts are still out there, probably on the internet today. And to end this, I'm going to show you one more clip from the show, which I find is particularly disturbing.
Candy Beaches returned this week for the first time in a month. The reason they were gone so long is because they said someone called the police on them. Twice. I think I know what this is all about.
Have been reported to the cyber police and the state police.
Looks like he wasn't joking around. Maybe it was their Good Morning America interview that prompted cyber police.
Wow, that's all we got for today. Thanks for hanging out with your boy, Mr. It's Too Easy. Hey, and if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and smash that like button and that subscribe button. Thank you again for hanging out with your boy. Until next time, peace.